Hi, and welcome to our latest episode of the Kip and Kim Hospitality Podcast, Stories from the Hospitality Industry. I'm really happy to welcome Ben Knowles here to tell us all about the ups and downs that have brought him to where he is today, and of course, what makes the hospitality industry so special. So, hi, Ben. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Very good. So, do you want to start by just giving an introduction to who you are and what you do?
Absolutely, yes. My name's Ben Knowles. I've been a chef for 15 years, and I started my own catering company around 9 years ago. And since then, I've been in multiple venues, offering a restaurant service, well known for Sunday lunches, things like that. And we started catering, really pushing the catering, probably around 5 or 6 years ago.
How did you get started in hospitality?
So I grew up in pubs with my parents, and the last pub we lived in was the Stamford Arms in Groby. Came out of that when I was around 14, 15 years old. They went on to a cafe and started with corporate catering, and I've been working for them since I could walk, since I was about 6 years old. And just fell in love with cooking. We were, when we'd go to Cornwall, we'd have a trailer tent and we'd walk down the coast, come back with a carrier bag full of mussels, cook it up in the cream of white wine sauce in the trailer tent, and things like that. So just fell in love with cooking, and I went to Loughborough Catering College and did 2 years there, and then worked in and around Leicester, and then as I said, started my own company when I was 21, and
So what was it like growing up in a pub? Because I brought my kids and I lived above a pub for a while. And so my kids had that sort of experience of living in a pub. But what was it like from your point of view as a child growing up in pubs?
I mean, the biggest family time that we had was dinner time, 5 o'clock. We had to be home to have dinner, and then my parents would go straight back down to work, sort of thing. Spent a lot of time with my dad going to macro shops and bottling up the pub, putting beer mats out, and things like that. But we were still close. Christmas Day we would have they'd open up for 2.5 hours, so we'd barely see. I think we would open presents in the morning, and then we'd sit down and have dinner at 3, 4, 5 o'clock, and so it was, what I'm trying to say, I think family time could have been a lot more. We could have spent a lot more time together. We went on. So for me, the main family time was family dinner at 5 o'clock and one holiday a year where we'd spend time together. So looking at it now I have a daughter, I personally wouldn't want to live where I work or have a pub in that matter. One day, it is kind of my dream to have a pub one day. But right now, I'm enjoying my time and I'm not rushing into that kind of thing just yet. So yeah.
But did they get you to, so obviously if you're living there, I suppose they got you working young?
Absolutely, yeah. So I had to earn my pocket money. My nana would slip me £10 every time I saw her, kind of thing. Dodgy deal. But I had to earn. I was always negotiating my hourly wage. I'm pretty sure it started off at about £1, £1.50 an hour, something like that. And then I'd turn around and say, right, I know the ropes now, Dad. I deserve more. I want a wage review. And then it was £2.50. And then I think by the time I was, 12, 13, 14, it was more like £5 an hour. So back then it wasn't too bad at all. I'd do 2 hours on a Saturday and Sunday morning to set the pub. So it was good. But that taught me good work ethics as well. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No. I was going to say that my daughter, I've got 4 kids, and one of my daughters, I said, right, come on, time for you to come and help and work. And so she put on the uniform and she was all for it. She just wanders off halfway through a shift. And I was like, oh, no, that's not how it works. This isn't your home. This is a job.
It was.
Hospitality is not her life. She can't do hospitality.
Yeah, no, it was hard at times. Sorry. Yeah, we clashed plenty of times, especially at the cafe. So it was like an open kitchen, and especially working with my parents. They'd been married for God knows how many years now. I think they've just hit 40. So at the time, they'd been married for 35, 40 years. And it was like something like Faulty Towers. It was we honestly could have made a comedy out of it. And I was in the middle. I was neutral ground most of the time. But then at times I would, bite back, or if I was feeling lazy for that day, I might slip off a few times a bit earlier, skip the clean down and all that sort of jazz. But no, the real time that I like, or my dad always says he knew that I had what it takes to be a chef, essentially, was when they were really busy. We were getting really busy. The ticket holder with all the orders on was getting really full, and I could see my dad losing it. He was losing his head. He was going, shit, what do I do? And I stepped in and went, yeah, Dad, I separated the tickets. So I'll do them, you do them, we'll meet back in the middle. We'll meet back at the end. And he went, right, okay. And we did it within 8 minutes. Everything was out. And he went, wow. And ever since then, that's when he said, that's when he knew that I've got what it takes to be a chef. I think you need a different mindset to jump in the kitchen and multitask all them different tasks and stuff like that. And I absolutely love it. Such a passion. And I've always said that if you've not got a passion for what you do, never mind chefing, but especially chefing, just come out of it. The amount of microwave technicians there are about nowadays, just go jump on with them. Don't work in a place that serves good food and then, just not have a passion for it, because it's no fun for anyone. It's no fun for the team that you're working with, and it's certainly no fun for the customers because they're just going to get slapdash on the plate. So, yeah.
No, absolutely. I think that's really key, because I think what you're describing is what perhaps people who aren't in the industry don't understand, that what's going on in the kitchen, how complex it is. I spent my whole career, front of house is my thing. I spent my whole career front of house, so obviously been very aware of the kitchen and doing my share of pots or commis whenever I could. And I swore I would never head chef. And then I ended up in a business which, for a variety of reasons, had no chef. So it was only me that could step in. And to learn that and to discover just actually why chefs are so grumpy. I mean, I always assumed it was just a personality. It's just, these are people who they're born like this. They're going to be grumpy because that's what makes a chef. But actually, when you're actually in the thick of it, in the middle of service, and you've got things coming at you, and you've got all of your checks lined up, and you've got to get all those timings right for multiple different things going on all at once, and then you get somebody walk up to you and say, "Oh, we've got any tomato sauce," and you just go, like it's yes, you know where tomato sauce is. It's exactly where it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And now I have to start again. It's a really complex task that a chef's doing. And as you say, it's very different in different kitchens and different types of kitchens, because quite a lot of particularly modern kitchens these days are just, as you say, microwave technicians. They're not actually, they're doing some of that, but they're not necessarily doing the full complexity of it. And these are different environments, aren't they?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. So you trained to be a chef, and then where did you go after that?
I went to it was called the Rosewater in Mount Sorrel, and I worked there for probably just under a year. At the same time, I was at the Nag's Head in Glenfield, and then after all of that, I think I did a little bit of work at the Crown in Anstey. So I did a lot of work around little village pubs. I also worked at the Troodos in Glenfield, which was a Greek restaurant with Leon, and then I think after all of that, I then ended up at the Stamford Arms in Groby, where I went to be a sous chef, and we had a great team, learned quite a lot as well. But there was a time, I think it was around that time, I think it was either there or Grove Farm, Green King, Grove Park Triangle place, and they were just about to put the roof on. And I saw a job opportunity come up, and I thought, let's go and check it out. And my dad always said to me when he used to take me to work, he always used to say, I've not got much of a pension, Ben. I've been self-employed all this time. I often wonder what it would be like now if I'd have gone to work for Marriott Hotels, whatever else. I'd probably be on 45, 50k a year salary, nice pension, retiring soon, etc. So anyway, I thought I'd check it out. Go check out a big company, and and anyway, applied for the job. Got through to the second stage. Went for an interview with the head chef or the kitchen manager, and she said I think I'd applied for sous chef, and I'd looked at a bit. I'd acted head chef a few times. I was young. I think I was about 19, 19. But I'd worked with only fresh food, busy environments, And anyway, she said, "We'd like to offer you the job, but we'd like to offer you company chef." And I was like, "Why?" She's like, "Because I can't see any high volume places on your CV." I was like, "Surely it's more difficult to get fresh food out for 100 people than what it is to get microwave food out for 300 people, like in one service or whatever." Anyway, away we went, and the more she was talking, and I was looking at the menu at the same time, and I said, sorry to interrupt. How much of the food on here is fresh? And she said, none of it. We just buy like the salad in and maybe something else. And I was like, okay. And she went to carry on. I went, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to stop you there. Like, I don't think this is for me. I'm looking for fresh food kind of thing. And that was it. Off I went. And I just went off and did. Yeah, carried on in the pub. And then an opportunity came up with so Simon Thompson. He used to have the pumping station. Late wife is there, but Simon passed away due to cancer. I owe him a lot. So he set me up at the Groovy Working Men's Club, and it's quite a nice working men's club for a working men's club. And he was part of the committee, and he got me in there because an opportunity came up for a food franchise to take on the business. So that's where I started Ben's Kitchen. We were there for about 3.5 years, and then moved from there to Kirby Muxloe Golf Club. There for about 18 months, and COVID hit, and then that's when another journey started. And we were doing a lot of takeaway food on the weekends, but then we were also bored in the week. So we ended up doing, I think we did about 7,000 NHS meals. So I started donating it off my own back, up to about 1,000. And then it started getting to the point where it was costing me quite a bit of money. So we started a GoFundMe, and we raised £2,500 in 24 hours. It was crazy. So we went shopping, and we made, the challenge was all three Leicester hospitals in one evening. So we'd start at 6 a.m, start making it, and we'd finish delivering by about 2 a.m. It was a big job, and loved it. It was really really rewarding. Because they were getting support, but they were only getting pizza, curries, kebabs. They were getting the same thing, So we stepped in. We were doing nice, fresh pastas and lasagnas and curries, whatever else. We did all sorts. And then we also did a lot for the community as well. So I don't know if you recall, when all the supermarkets started running out of food, so I used my buying power with my suppliers, and I started distributing in our refrigerated van just food produce, toilet paper, beer for some people, whatever they needed, we delivered. And that kept us busy as well during the week. And then, after all of that, I think when the first lockdown, I've lost track of how many lockdowns there were, we started at Forest Hill Golf Club. We were there for the summer. And then after that, that's when I went on to my own restaurant, when pubs reopened outside. So that was April 2020. No, what year is it? 20. It must have been 20. I've lost track. Whatever it was. It was the 12th of April. I know that much. I know. COVID threw me off. Yeah, absolutely. So I had my own essentially restaurant. So I invested my own money. I sort of rented half of the pub area. Did it all up myself. It was beautiful. Loved it. And we saw that after 2 years. The war happened in Ukraine. COVID messed up the hospitality industry. Chefs went to work. Amazon and Tesco's get paid the same money, less stress, weekends off. And then I also found out I was going to have a daughter. Last year of 2023, around January, I did the maths and came out of the restaurant in May of 23. And since then, we just do catering. So we just do catering for any occasion, fine or simple, small or large, whether that be corporate, weddings, you name it, we do it. Private dining, barbecues, garden parties. And then we also do a few pop-up restaurants as well. The most regular place that we do that at is the Lancaster Arms in Desford. Absolutely beautiful pub. So we've got all sorts of nights planned there for the rest of this year, and I'm sure there'll be more. So yeah, that's us in a nutshell. Thank you. She's 13 months now. She's pretty much running. Yeah, no, it's great. Love it. Absolutely love it. That sent tingles up my back. Like, just the passion. Like, I love being able to. I love seeing the look on people's faces when they eat the food, they try the food, and I love it when I have time to come out, explain the dishes, even bring the dishes out myself, and then asking all these different questions. I just love it. Like, it's just absolutely buzzing. I'd say it's what I was born to do without sounding cringy. But yeah, I just absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah. I gotta say, and it still sort of follows me to this day, but I'm working my way through it, which is that when we moved to Kirby Muxloe, my company had to go VAT registered, and I just didn't price my work right, and I didn't keep track of my numbers. And yeah, within 5 months of trading as VAT registered, I then got a 25,000 brand VAT bill, and I had 10 grand in the bank. And I was like, where's that come from? And yeah, pretty much ever since then, it's just been like looming over my head. Don't get me wrong, we chipped away at it really quickly, but then obviously new debts came in, and I was just I think I was too young in a sense. I was too young, a little bit naive, more focused on what I was doing in the kitchen than working on the business itself. And at least since then, I've been doing the numbers myself, been keeping an eye on it myself. So for example, when we're at the restaurant, a few months at a time here and there, I may have lost track of it. I may have passed that responsibility on to a member of staff, and I then lose track of what I'm doing each week and what profit we're making. Am I doing it right? And I'm just doing it on like off the top of my head on a daily basis. But then when you look at it and catch up with it from the last 3 months, you've not really made much of a profit, and you're like, oh crap. Yeah, the biggest thing for me is like numbers, keeping an eye on them numbers, making sure you're making a profit. Because if you are not, you need to do something straight away about it, because otherwise it just follows you. And yeah, that's the biggest mistake I've ever done. And yeah, no, really proud of myself now. Yeah, sorry. I'm very happy and content doing what we're doing now. I'd love to get a few more bigger gigs out there. We do some pretty reputable events and reputable catering contracts. But yeah, I'd like to get a few more under the belt, and yeah, just sort of see where that goes. But in the long term, um, I know a few people are not going to be happy with me saying it, but my dream is still to have my own restaurant where I own it. I own the whole thing, and yeah, it's mine. It's my name above the door. There's no more partnering up with a pub, a golf club, a workman's club. It's mine. I can do what I want and show off and really let that passion shine. And yeah, one day I will have it. But while my daughter's still young, I'm not wasting that time. So I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'll still have some very long weeks here and there in the catering industry. But yeah, no, that's it in a nutshell, I suppose. Absolutely. We're all over Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm still a little bit rusty with, but I will be working on that very soon. But yeah, we've got a website. You can see our work. Yeah, no question is silly. No quote is too small or too big. So yeah, we're more than happy to accommodate anything you can think of. So yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Ben's Kitchen Leicester. And yeah. You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.